Good morning, North Texas. It is the 17th day of June. My name is Andrew. I'm the host of the Fort Worth Roots Morning Show. If it's your first time joining us, this is meant to be a super quick little morning clip to get you ready for your day. Dropping the kids off at school whenever they're back in school, going to work, whatever you got going on in the morning. Well, also, it's a podcast, so you can listen to it whenever you want. We've got some segments here. We're going to jump into the weather in just a moment. I want to give a shout out to our newest morning show sponsor, the Azle Academy. You can find them online at theazleacademy.org. And they've got a lot of fun stuff for your kiddos. It's a great place to learn music or just educate them children. Theazleacademy.org. Excellent. All right, and we will be filming from there most mornings. We had a different kind of situation today, so we are off location this morning. I hope you're having a great week so far this Tuesday. It's going to be 95 for a high, 75 for a low. Wednesday, 94 for a high, 75 for a low. Thursday, 96 and 76 for a low with a slight chance of rain, 23%. Friday, 96 and 76 degrees for a low. Saturday, 94 and 76 for a low. And then Sunday, 95, 74 for a low. Not much chance for rain. Not much at all. All right, let's get into National Day of. Today is June 17th. National Eat Your Vegetables Day. National Week of Making. Don't know what that is. Bunker Hill Day. Gerald Day. If your name's Gerald, it's your day. Congratulations. National Apple Strudel Day. None of these look like they warrant us reading through them. National Harrison Day. These get dumber every time we read them. Okay, I'm not seeing anything outstanding here. We're going to move on. This day in history, if it works better than yesterday. 1972, the Watergate scandal. Break-in at the Watergate Hotel ends in arrest. 5 men, including U.S. President Richard Nixon, security chief, are arrested after breaking into the Democratic National Committee's headquarters at the Watergate complex in Washington, D.C. What Nixon's press secretary later dubs a third-rate burglary will be the undoing of a presidency. New federal holiday, 2021, Juneteenth. That's coming up in 2 days. Get ready. We've got a story about that here in just a minute. All right, your Fort Worth news today. StarTelegram.com. Story is by Bud Kennedy. Fort Worth beer favorite finds a new home and a whiskey distillery is moving in. Craft beer pioneer RAR Brewing is now produced at Wild Acre Brewing in Fort Worth. Wild Acre executive Joel confirmed Monday. RAR's production line is at Wild Acre, but the brewer is still seeking a permanent home after leaving its original location in South Main Village in April. Co-founder Fritz RAR posted in a Facebook comment. Let's see here. Looking for the name. Blue Flag Distillery. A new single malt whiskey line will replace RAR in its old location at 701 Galveston Avenue, according to a recent announcement by founder William Rucker. The story does continue. You can find it again on star-telegram.com. For some reason, there wasn't a paywall there. Thanks, Star Telegram. All right, here we go. Juneteenth story by Kamal Morgan, another Fort Worth Star Telegram story. Concerts, a block party, and more are scheduled to celebrate Juneteenth in Fort Worth. Let's get into the story this week. The National Juneteenth Museum will host its inaugural Freedom Vibes Festival to celebrate the freedom and progress that Juneteenth represents. The 4-day celebration is in honor of the Juneteenth holiday on June 19th, which commemorates the day in 1865 when the last African American slaves in Galveston were freed by General Order No. 3. Juneteenth was an informal holiday for decades, celebrated by parades, barbecues, and other gatherings. Fort Worth has a history of celebrating Juneteenth as far back as 1882. In 1979, Texas became the first to declare Juneteenth a state holiday after Fort Worth's own Opal Lee symbolically walked 1,400 miles to Washington, D.C. to get nationwide recognition of Juneteenth. President Joe Biden signed legislation designating it as a federal holiday in 2021. Story does continue. See if they've got some... looking for upcoming events. Freedom Vibes continues at Bass Hall at 7:30 on Friday, June 20th, with a doubleheader of two iconic R&B groups, the OJs and the Whisperers. Okay. What else we got here? Freedom Vibes will start on Thursday, June 19th, with an appearance by civil rights leader and diplomat Andrew Young as part of the Uniting Voices speaker series. The event is at 3 p.m. at I.M. Terrell Academy, 1900 I.M. Terrell Way. All right. Next story. MSN.com. Story by Raven Jordan. South Main and that whole Magnolia area, it's changing. Burger joint on Fort Worth's near south side to close after 2 years. A Fort Worth burger joint with a vegan menu is closing. Vice Burger, a fast casual restaurant with vegan burgers and shakes, located in near Southside District at 1515 West Magnolia Avenue, is closing after 2 years, according to a post by the owner. Vice Burger started as a pop-up spin-off of the owner's other vegan restaurant and juice bar, Boulevard of Grains. They opened Vice Burger as a full restaurant in a former poke bowl space in an old 1935 building in November 2023. Times are getting rough out there. They're jacking up everybody's rent. And I don't know. I hope you like chain restaurants. All right. We don't usually do world news of this variety, but it's gotten bad enough. I feel like you probably ought to know. Last night while you were sleeping, Israel strikes on Tehran intensified as conflicts enters fifth day. Israel appeared to be expanding its air campaign on Tehran 5 days after its surprise attack on Iran's military and nuclear program, as U.S. President Donald Trump posted an ominous message warning residents of the city to evacuate. So usually whenever these evacuation orders or whatever come out, you don't see a ton of movement. They said people are fleeing Tehran in droves. It's looking pretty serious. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, Trump wrote Monday night before returning to Washington early from a Group of Seven summit in Canada. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran, he added. Trump later denied he had rushed back to work on a ceasefire, telling reporters on Air Force One during the flight back to Washington, "I'm not looking at a ceasefire. We're looking at a better than a ceasefire. We're looking at better than a ceasefire." Okay. Asked why he urged for the evacuation of Tehran, he said, "I just want people to be safe." It's looking real nasty out there. Yeah, so keep an eye on that today. I don't know. There's nothing we can do about it, but it's crazy. I mean, they're just destroying cities, toppling buildings. Everybody's getting hurt. Bad stuff. All right, let's get that out of your head with a good news story. This news story is by goodnewsnetwork.org. Our buddy Andy Corbley. Quick-thinking zoo elephant rescued a drowning gazelle with its trunk. At a zoo in Guatemala, an elephant intervened to save its fellow enclosure mate in a startling interspecies display of kindness that delighted zoogoers. At the Aurora Zoo in Guatemala City, a gazelle fell into the watering hole inside its enclosure and couldn't climb over the steep rocky edge. An elephant who shared the enclosure with the gazelle noticed what was happening and trundled into action. Using its trunk, the elephant first tried to pull the gazelle up of the water, but its struggle caused the elephant to lose its grip. Grasping the gazelle's horns more firmly, it yanked it out of the water at the second time of trying. "Mira, mira," or "Look, look," cried a spectator who caught the moment on film and who cheered along with others when the gazelle was back on land. Incredibly, reports USA Today, this isn't the first time that an elephant this very zoo has acted as a lifeguard. In 22, Trombita, a 61-year-old Asian elephant, also noticed a gazelle stranded in the water. She trumpeted in alarm until a nearby zookeeper came by to see what was the matter. That's pretty cool. Elephants are wild, man. I was watching, there's a wildlife preserve here in Texas somewhere, and they've got these elephants that can just do crazy stuff, and it looks like they love doing it. I just thought that was pretty cool. If you guys have anything to share with us here at the Fort Worth Roots Morning Show, that's why we're here. We're here to act as a connecting fiber for the community here in North Texas. So if you've got an event coming up, just let us know. You can send us an email, media@fortworthroots.com, or you can go to our Instagram and just send us a little message. There's a microphone button on your DM on Instagram. Just hit that sucker and tell us about your event and send it to me, and I will play it on the show. Any kind of event. Also, if you've got a news story and you want to make sure we don't miss it, do your best read. Try to keep it under a minute if you can. If not, that's cool too. Just depends on how good the story is. But it doesn't have to sound great, man. Just make it happen. Again, the email is media@fortworthroots.com, and we're Fort Worth Roots on Instagram and all other social media. And I'd love for you to check out our catalog of awesome guests that we've had on the show here at the Fort Worth Roots over the past 5 years. The morning show has been the most popular thing that we've ever produced. So thank you guys for your support. Really appreciate it. Come see us. We love meeting you guys in person. Tuesdays out at McFly's Pub. Please put it on your calendar right now. Starts at 5 o'clock, goes till 7. We always have an interesting North Texas creator that we put on a podcast, and if it's a musician like tonight, they'll play for us on the stage right after we get done with the recording. No cover, and there's no kind of commitment of any kind whatsoever. We just want you to come out and be part of the group. When we get done with the podcast recording, before the band goes up on stage, we include you on that week's podcast recording with the audience microphone. We've been encouraging businesses and anybody with a brand or something to promote to come out and get on that audience microphone so that we can share your story on that week's episode. It's just a wireless mic, goes around the room, everybody gets a chance with it. We start off with, you can ask the guest questions, so you can be part of that segment of the show. And then we transition into, hey, has anybody got something to promote? So, again, that's McFly's Pub. Starts at 5 o'clock every single Tuesday. All right, folks. As you move through outer space on the back of a giant sea turtle, we hope that you will choose love and gratitude every chance you get. Till tomorrow, folks. Good day.